All right. Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands. I actually, believe it or not, my first corporate job was here in Brussels. I actually worked for Cisco Systems in Brussels. To make it even better, I studied in Leuven. So I know that Belgium has, the best chocolate, the best waffles, the best doner kebab, the best French fries, the best mussels, the best steak. Basically, it has most of the best of all the foods in all of Europe. I forgot the most important one. I actually was a bartender in the Oude Markt in Leuven. So I was exposed to Stella in 1999, in Pincha, Red Bull, all that good stuff was brand new at the time. And of course, I learned my favorite beer, which is Delirium. Do we have Delirium fans? All right, good. All right. So I just landed, so I'm sorry, probably a little bit jet lagged, but we'll have fun here. So we have 17 minutes. This is my Twitter handle in case anybody wants to send me a note or later. So it's just at GoGoSlava. You don't need to ask me for my email later. It's slava@Indiegogo. But let's start off with something that'll get less clapping, but interesting, right? People start already just chattering. Such a negative word to start off with. It's just the essence of rejection. Think about the last time that you asked a guy or girl out, you tried to get a loan, you went to the VC, and all they said was no. It's actually the essence of rejection. It's easy to think that, you don't need to worry about it, no is no, but there's actually scientific proof. A study was done having people do basic tasks by first exposing them to words. And they exposed them to no repetitively, and to other people they were not exposed to no. Just that one word. And people that were exposed to no did the basic task 3 times slower. What you're looking there at the brain is from this actual study. You're actually impacting, there's physical chemicals and neurotransmitters that are getting fired up when they hear no, which is actually blocking some of the ability to move forward on some of the tasks. Some of these companies would not exist with just no. I mean, all of us know stories. But literally, FedEx got no from the same exact VC 7 times in a row. Our economy and the way our structure is set up with limited capacity and having to decide where to allocate resources has a tendency to say no. See, the way it works is you need to know the right banker to get the loan, or they say no. The right VC, or they say no. The right person at the government, or they say no. As a matter of fact, for the last 100, if not more years, it was actually built on very simple, do you know the right person to get it not to be a no? Which is interesting because we already have in history the start of what now we call crowdfunding. See, in the late 1800s, the Statue of Liberty was actually crowdfunded. The statue was free from the French, but the base cost nearly 300,000 US. They were able to get the first half of the money, but the rest of the half they weren't able to get, so they weren't going to get the statue. Joseph Pulitzer actually used the newspaper, his technology at the time, his 200 miles radius, his reach at the time, his tens of thousands of people, his audience at the time, his once every 10 days, his frequency at the time, to reach out and raise the other half of the money. On average contribution, 83 cents per person. And if you've been to New York, you know that this picture is real, that there actually is the Statue of Liberty. Just fast forward, think of what's possible with the internet. Instead of reach being 200 miles, it could be the whole world. Frequency, instead of once every 10 days, once every minute or second. Your audience being, instead of tens of thousands, it can be 7 billion people or 3,000, the ones that are networked right now. I mean, you're totally changing everything in a matter of just a little over 100 years. Let's just talk about examples. It's whether or not you have a product, you use Indiegogo, you get money. Or it could be an idea, it could be a film, it could be music, it could be a community project, right? It could be anything, because no happens everywhere. So here's an example. In Turkey, there was a revolution happening, and on the weekend that happens. On Monday, 3 global citizens decide, I do not want my Turkish people to be held down by the media that's there. So they start a campaign to raise $52,000 to get one full-page ad in the New York Times, so hopefully the message could get out. These 3 global citizens start the campaign on Monday. They fund it on Tuesday. By Wednesday, they have $108,000. On Thursday, they finalize the negotiation with the New York Times. And on Friday, they're in the New York Times. And the following week, 2,000 media outlets are covering that ad in the New York Times. Or you have a band here in Europe, the Architects, who want to do a European tour, go to 25 countries. They get over 3,000 funders to be able to make this tour happen. They give away perks, and they raise the 40,000 pounds that they want. And the final example here is a security device, a mobile security device. And for anybody who wants to appreciate these guys did not want to use crowdfunding. They went to Silicon Valley and they went to get VC money. And you know what? They actually got a lot of term sheets, which means they got a lot of offers. But Adam responded back